1, 2, 3, 4!
Hi, welcome to Cog Talk, a Cogset Productions podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Scott.
And it's still a two-man show.
Yeah!
Not everyone's sick anymore. Everyone's recovered. They're healthy. They're still alive. But mainly, it's that everyone's busy. And it's mostly my fault because we're busy shooting a skit come the day that we could record otherwise. But,
Hey, things happen.
Yeah, we're trying to get more stuff out there, because it's been a lazy month. I've had my birthday, I've been sick, so I've been slacking. I'm sorry.
We all have.
Okay. I'm not sorry then. Everyone else can take the blame. Exciting news in the Marvel universe and
Yes.
I guess the 20th Century Fox universe, which I've never heard anyone ever say before. Sony? That's right. I keep saying 20th Century Fox, which was old Spider-Man. Right?
No.
Ah, fuck it.
20th Century Fox has, I believe,
X-Men? Okay.
And Sony has Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Either way, Spider-Man is coming to the Marvel Universe.
Yes. He's not to stay. He's not coming to stay. It's just, he's visiting family.
Yeah. Obviously, for those who watch comic books, you know that Spider-Man is a Marvel character, but due to movies...
For those of you who watch comic books?
Yes, for those of you who watch comic books.
Alrighty then.
Thank you for pausing me in the middle of my fucking sentence. Hate you!
They were asking, I had to, it's for them. I'm their voice.
Okay. And just angry comments every now and then. You're a fucking idiot.
Pretty much.
Why is a black guy on here? What a fag. Just stuff like that. Check out my channel.
Oh.
Kick Hacksaw Headshot 979.
Elite Pro.
Yeah.
MLG style.
Yeah. KSI. Fuck you. But Spider-Man's coming back to the Marvel movie universe.
Yes, he is.
And he's supposedly expected that he'll be there for Captain America 3.
Confirmed.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, he will be there. It's a little late for. They're trying to say it's a little late, but he's going to be there,
which is going to be nice. I mean, he plays such a pivotal role in that because it's looking like they're gearing up for Civil War.
Yeah. Well, it's called Captain America Civil War.
Exactly.
Another thing that they're talking about doing is the after credits shot, like the after credits shot, possibly doing Spider-Man if they can cast him fast enough. Which, you don't have to have his face in there, so
yeah,
you might be able to get away with just throwing someone in a costume and not doing a face or not doing a voice.
Now, who do you cast as Spider-Man?
Not a white guy.
Not a white guy?
It's it's weird to say, but I'm sick and tired of Peter Parker. I want Miles Morales, I think his name is.
Close enough. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he's
I think Spider-Man. Ethnic Spider-Man.
Ethnic. I'm not sure if he's black or Hispanic, but he's not white. He's an ethnic Spider-Man, and with what's happened with Peter Parker storylines, with the two previous movie sets, it's time that we slip away from that and give something new and risk-taking, because a lot of movies don't like taking risks nowadays. That would be such a risk with the way that the movies are stationed as opposed to comic books that I think it would be a massive payoff.
That, and let's face it, you can only kill Uncle Ben so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I wish they just got the same actor every time. Where it's like, your goal is to be getting shot constantly while trying to talk Peter out of doing something stupid.
Yeah. You're that guy from that one thing.
Yeah. That guy that got shot. Exactly. I know that bullet wound. Slight at John DiMaggio for those who know your Netflix cues and your voice actors.
Yes.
Because you're awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for it because Spidey was a big part of Civil War, and Spidey's like...
He was the big part of Civil War.
Yeah. And he's like... he's a good character. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's got so much cool things going on for him that I get really disappointed when I don't see Spider-Man in Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the X-Men in Marvel stuff. But then again, for some reason, the X-Men have always had a weird dynamic where, like, everyone's kind of cool with Spider-Man, who's a mutant, but these guys over here in this state, fuck you.
Well, he's not an actual mutant.
He's mutated.
Yeah, he's mutated, but it's not natural. It's an outside source.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people are differentiating that. Like, fuck you. Oh, wait, you weren't born different? Something happened to you? You poor thing. Okay, we'll root for you. New York loves you.
Well,
but these guys that were born weird, fuck you.
Think of it like this. X-Men are natives to Hawaii, and Spider-Man is a Howley who's been living there for 20 years.
And eventually Spider-Man hits a golf ball and sinks a cruise liner.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched South Park. I know your references. So.
Good. Well, that was actually
I also like how it's kind of ironic that we're talking about, like, the first thing out of the gate is Marvel, and I'm wearing my Superman shirt and you're wearing your Batman shirt. Yeah, so, I
gotta show my love for DC.
Yeah, and I saw the shirt and I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. Like, I'll shit on Superman every day of the fucking week, but when it comes down to it, Superman's awesome.
Yeah, and that's a really cool shirt.
Yes. It makes me feel like Superman. Don't bring in green rocks my way. I don't know what my jump-off joke was at.
No clue.
Yeah.
All right, anyways. Yeah, Spider-Man is going to be in Marvel. Now, Marvel is getting him for Captain America 3, but he's still owned by Sony. So, Marvel's going to keep all the money from him being in Captain America and whatever Sony allows Marvel to do with him, but Sony keeps all the rights. They're going to be making their own movies. I think they're starting a new trilogy, getting rid of Andrew Garfield. Which
is really sad, I gotta say.
It is.
Because I like Garfield. Like, he's such a cool little cat that loves lasagna. No, he's a very good actor for Peter Parker. He's a very good actor. He's a 10 times better actor for Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like, I'm not sure who they're going to cast Miles. I'm already thinking that it's going to be Miles.
Yeah.
I really hope so. But, no, they... like, he's good at what he does. And the movies, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, have been wonderful. Like, they've been actually really good. I mean, there's just
something about them.
Yeah, and I gotta think, like, on a personal level, it must suck for him where it's like, oh, I'm doing really good at Spider-Man. People are liking the Spider-Man movies. Hey, we made a deal and stuff like that, so you're not Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be a superhero kick in the nuts.
And I think he was signed for 3 movies because they were set to do a trilogy. And I think he was signed. They may have broken that contract. I'm not sure. I've not heard any reports on it, read anything about it. But with them casting a new Spider-Man for Captain America, I think they may have broken his contract. Like, Sony may have broken their contract for their new movies.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, I'm sure that he probably got compensation of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I know we were going to do 3, we did 2, sorry. Things went different. We went different way.
And I'd imagine that he would be very professional about it. Like, yeah, I understand. I've read the comments. I know what people are saying.
But I know that on a personal level, it's got to suck. Because I would rather do a 3rd Spider-Man movie than take a paycheck for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be my thing. Like, as... like someone who loves the universe and someone who I would assume that me would be really into acting.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, I want to do that. I wanted to do that. Why are you making me not do that?
Well, maybe that's what Tobey Maguire did. Like, he got the script, he knew it was going to be shit, but he would rather do it than get paid for not doing it. Maybe.
Possibly. Or maybe he sat there like, this is a great idea. And then he proceeded to have a coma. I was like, I'm going to go ride a horse. Thebifkit. In other geeky news, let's talk about swatting. Like, I know it's kind of like a weird jump between Marvel and Spider-Man. Yay, and swatting. We did talk about it in the past. For those of you who weren't here for that, what swatting is that when you are playing an online, when you're playing a game and streaming yourself playing it, certain assholes online have decided to call your local police department after they find out your information and say that there's a hostage situation or something of the such at your house that requires a SWAT response. So that way, when you're at home in the comfort of your living room playing a game, having fun, showing people what you're doing, the door behind you gets kicked in and people with guns come in and arrest you.
Yeah.
So
well, arrest. They detain you, make sure that nothing's bad happening.
Yeah, but still enough to like. I mean, I can't imagine that happening in any other place where it's like, oh, you're at work, and then all of a sudden a SWAT team comes by and like sticks a gun in your face and makes sure that you're not a terrorist.
Well, yeah, but yeah, like it's terminology. Like arrest is you've committed. They suspect you of committing a crime. They're detaining you to make sure that nothing bad is happening.
Yeah. Still, that's obviously not the bad part.
No, it's not.
It's the initial jolt of what
there's
the fuck
guns
is going
in my
on.
face. There are 20 guns with men behind them a second away from pulling the trigger, which is even worse when you have young siblings or children in the house.
Yeah, and that's the situation that you were telling me about earlier.
Yeah. There was a gamer, a streamer, I don't know his name, I don't watch him, but when I was reading up more on swatting, he came out, he was swatted on stream, and he came back and onto his stream like a couple days later and said, listen, I don't know who you guys are, but you're assholes. My young brothers had guns pointed at their heads. They could have died because of you. I mean, can you imagine, you've got an 8, 12-year-old sibling sitting there watching you play your game, having fun. You've got 60,000 people watching you play, and then all of a sudden SWAT breaks down your door, and now your kid brother has a gun pointed at him?
Yeah, or like even worse scenarios, like some of these streamers are fathers or mothers and stuff like that. Some of them might have like their families living with them, like elderly parents, or like even just like even if there was just other people in the house.
Yeah,
it's
like anyone else there.
Yeah. It's a traumatic experience, and it's something like it's not the fault for the streamer because these guys are, from what I've understood, rarely doing anything wrong. It's not like it's not provoked. Yeah. They're not sitting there like, oh, fuck you and stuff like that. And you know what I think about the Jews? And, they're not doing something that's like, all right, you're an asshole. I'm going to do something.
Anyone that does that, Twitch takes them down. They have a very strict policy on what can and cannot be in your material in your stream. And there's a swatter that goes by the Reddit name 0xFF that he says that he's 16 years old and he is a swatter. He's the person that, gets your information and calls the cops. And he said that is being swatted is now the price for being a streamer or a YouTuber. For being popular, for sharing your passion, a shared passion with thousands of people, 50 people, 10 people, one person, just doing that is that you're going to get swatted, and that's what you get paid. That's what you deserve.
And I never understood that. That would be like everyone should get John Lennon. Like, everyone that makes music that's good should suffer the same fate as John Lennon. Because, hey,
yeah,
how dare you make good music? And it's just, it's an anonymous, malicious attack.
It is. He, the swatter also stated that he gave his reasoning behind it. He said, I do it because when I walk into a room, I am usually the smartest person there. This is my way of showing that I am smarter than most of you. This is my way of asserting my dominance and how much better I am than you. It's pure narcissism.
And see, I almost wish like for a certain level of social justice would happen, because like if I knew someone, it would almost be like, and not to make like such a drastic comparison, but like if I was living in a town in like 1948, and I figured out that someone else in the town was confirmed a Nazi. Like, oh yeah, the war happened and I dodged it and I didn't get any of the punishment for it. Like, if I found Hitler next door and stuff like that, I realized it was Hitler. I'm just thinking about that movie where he got really confused and it wasn't Hitler. But if I found Hitler next door and was like, oh, that looks a lot like Hitler, and he's like, yeah, I'm Hitler and I'm the fucking best. Like, I would go over to that house and beat the fuck out of that person.
Definitely.
Like, and I would probably Twitch stream it.
Yeah, why not? Like, that's what you deserve. Honestly,
that's probably a little extreme. But I wish that there was that level of social contract where it's like, if a kid's misbehaving, anyone gets to slap the child.
And you know what? I would go as far to say that is not too much, too horrible of a comparison, because when it comes down to it,
I was gonna say more like the violent act streaming. Like, hey, by the way, I found the one of the slaughter guys.
I'd be okay with that because these swatters are terrorists. And I don't care what you say. That is a form of terrorism, and that's what our world is nowadays. It's different forms of terrorism, and this is terrorism in gaming. I mean, you and I are gamers. We know our community. We know our friends. Like, that's not the kind of people we want to be associated with. That's not the kind of troubles we want our friends or the people that we like to watch or play with. We don't want them going through that. We don't want to be associated with that at all.
And it's like it's one of those, like, in gaming, it just has this double-edged sword where it's like, oh well, people get to be assholes because of anonymity.
Yeah.
And it's like there's such a, like, this is one thing, because we've always mentioned that I've given up gaming. I don't game anymore. Like, I'd really like to. I just don't have the time. And it's like, even if it's not the time, some games I just don't have the patience for. Where it's like, well, this is really slow. I've kind of got other things to do, so I'm going to stop. But, like, I can't imagine another community doing something like this. And the point that I was actually trying to make, and I lost track of it, was one thing that I don't miss from gaming is the amount of assholes I meet. Like, I walk through my day now, and I work a customer service job, and I go to social events, and I do podcasting. Yes. I do this. I put myself on YouTube. I make an ass of myself. I do jokes. I do insight, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In all three of those formats, I meet probably 1/100th of 1/100th of assholes than I would meet playing one day online. There's no one that's like face to face or like on our comments that is directly like, well, fuck you and stuff like that, and like, you're such a nigger and stuff like that. Like, just dropping things that make me like shocked. Like, you can fucking say that to someone and not like just die instantly.
Yeah.
Like, you can be that fucking vile of a person and there's no repercussions.
And that's the thing about the internet and being online, especially in gaming. I can say whatever I want to whoever I want, and the average person can do absolutely nothing about it. The most that they can do is, go hit the report button on, their dashboard, on my profile, and that's it. And that's unfortunately the world that we live in. I mean,
like, it doesn't justify it. It's just a sad realization.
It is.
And it's one of those, like, this is the time that you're living in that's supposed to be fucking awesome. I mean, we've got, internet that streams fucking
gigabytes per second.
Yeah, I can think of a movie and watch it somewhere, and all that stuff. There's so many things that are awesome about this generation, except for the people. And it's just one of those realizations where it's like, everything besides the people are awesome.
But then you have, on the other side of that, you have some YouTubers and streamers who I'm not going to name because I don't want anything to happen to them.
Yeah.
But that they reach either 6 million, 7 million subscribers, or 700 subscribers, 70 subscribers, and every single time they just pour their heart out. It's like they understand that they are only popular, they are only doing what they're doing, making a living on internet content because of the fans. Without the people, the good people, they're nothing. And I've gone through one specific YouTuber's comments, and I've noticed that for every one negative guy or asshole, there are 100 good people that immediately shut him down. So that gives me hope that for all the assholes that I've met online, that multiply that by 100, and there's that many good people online.
Yeah, and I made a very blanket statement.
Yeah.
With that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, besides like Hitler, I don't think people are that much of an asshole between like 1940 and today.
Yeah.
And then it just certain things just put it on the influx. So I don't know. Like that's my soapbox. Like that's kind of like hashtag Gamergate. Fuck you. And slash like end combo. Because it's just like
yeah.
Like, I could sit here and have my aneurysm on screen, but
that's not what we're here for. We're here for the lighter side of things. This is just something that resurfaced recently with what happened to that Sony exec, and it's gotten bigger. So it's just something that this is my topic. I needed to bring this up. I was talking to Pat about it, and I just had to say something because it's unfortunate, but it's out there and people need to know.
Yeah. So for all of you that are doing well, thank you.
Yes, you're making content, whether it's good or bad. Thank you. Because whether you know it or not, you're opening the door for somebody else. If you're making good content, you're making content that people want to live up to. If you're making bad content, you're making content that people want to beat. And so people are making content, and it's just more content and more content. So whether it's good or bad by the thumbs up or the likes or the shares, it's good no matter what.
Yeah, I like how when we do a 2-man thing, there's always like that little inspirational note, like, by the way, this is for all just pretend like you're painting happy little trees, and every mistake is just an opportunity waiting. Yeah, just fucking like Bob Ross the fuck out of this.
Random thing that I was watching today. Did you know that within 2 minutes, more people we take more pictures in the world than every single person in the 19th century combined?
Oh, fuck, flash paper.
And like 90% of those are selfies. Probably not really. Like 78% of statistics are made up on the spot. But, most of them are selfies. Isn't that kind of scary?
It's a weird world.
It is.
Let's do plugs.
Plugs are fun.
Plugs are fun. Today we are plugging ourselves. Yay! Actually, you know what? Let me do a off the cuff plug.
Oh, go
for ourselves. Yay! No, I'm kidding. 2 channels that you should definitely check out. One is Film Riot. Film Riot is one of those channels that we always get our, I don't want to say material, but our techniques from.
Yeah.
We haven't put a whole lot of it into practice yet.
That's more like programming stuff that, we have to buy programs and equipment, but...
Yeah, and the prop stuff that we still haven't, written out the skits or got the props for. But, if you want to really educate yourself and really get yourself, up to speed with how you should be filming, check out Film Riot. They're at youtube.com/Film Riot. They're great guys. I mean, Ryan's humor is fucking spot on. And Josh is awesome in those action scenes. And it's just, they're a great group of guys. And they're doing a lot of good by taking their knowledge and giving it to the world for free. So, second one I want to plug, and it's someone that we actually had on the podcast a while ago. And I haven't heard from her recently, but she's been very busy and very active. That's Game on Eileen. So if you want to watch, since we did talk about YouTube streamers and video gamers and stuff like that, check out her channel at Game on Eileen. She does some great content. If you ever want to see a beautiful Asian woman get scared the crap out of during Five Nights at Freddy's, she's your number one pick.
It's so funny. I've watched Markiplier, I've watched Jacksepticeye, and they're hilarious. But for some reason, she's just a step above that.
She's got
something
charm.
about that reaction.
She's got spunk.
Yeah.
Well,
she's got charisma.
I shouldn't say spunk.
No, you shouldn't.
No. I like charisma. Charisma's way better.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads into our next topic, because we're fucking nerds.
Yes.
And I was making a slight the other day that our website says podcasts, table talk, and geek talk. Podcast, tabletop, geek talk. And we haven't touched table talk in a fucking age.
Yeah, tabletop has been kind of my project, but it's really difficult to just get enough people to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, and schedule it out and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is something that we're gearing towards this year, something that we're going to really push the envelope on. But we recently got some material on D&D 5th edition.
Yes.
And I know we took a little bit of time out and talked about D&D last time, or not last time, but on the previous podcast. And let's take, when we were talking about it, I think we were talking about 3.5 versus 4.
Yes. With the splash of Pathfinder in there.
Yeah. And so now, since we have time today, and we've both read over the books, let's talk about D&D 5.
This coming from somebody who is dead set in 3.5, I'm excited for 5.0, or D&D Next, whichever you like to call it. It is just, it's simplified, but it doesn't make you feel like, if you're a seasoned player, it doesn't make you feel stupid. Like, it's not, so simple that it's like, this is for a child. It's just, it takes all the hard work out of it, which some people love that hard work, and you can still have it there if you want, but it's just like, it makes it just smooth.
Yeah, and there's no longer, like, it seems like ancillary checks.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I want to push that guy onto the ground. Well, make a strength check based off his dexterity check and what type of shoes he's wearing. Also, what day is it? Tuesday? Yeah. He's rarely strong on Tuesdays.
Well, what time is it? Where's the sun?
Yeah, the wind's blowing 5 degrees against you, so that puts a little bit of a resistance. And no, this is like, you want to push him over? Roll an attack roll. Hey, guess what? You used your attack to knock him on the ground.
Like, he failed, you passed, there you go. Yeah. He's on the ground.
As someone that's a 4th edition player, like, that's what I was introduced to thanks to Critical Hit, a wonderful podcast. I'm optimistic about it. I do feel that it kind of went back to the 3.5 method of, I roll to whack it. You whacked it. I should use different phrasing when I do things like this. I whacked it. I whacked it.
Rolling to whack it. Rolling to whack it.
You whacked it hard. Critical fail. Ah, my eye. We do disclose that we do dick jokes, and here's a dick joke. Yay. No, but it's like I rolled to hit it. You hit it. Yay. Here's damage. I rolled to hit it. You hit it. Yay. Roll damage. Like, that's one thing I did like about 4th edition over 5th edition, where it's like fighters felt like fucking majestic fighters, where they're like, I hit the person, pull him in. I hit this guy and throw him away. Stuff like that. The fighters kind of went back to, I whack it until, god damn it, I hit it up until they get to like 3rd level, where they start getting their special moves and abilities.
Yeah,
and it makes them a little bit more flowy with what they do. But it's still nice. Like, I'm reading over 3.5. I'm getting really excited about it.
You mean 5.0?
3.0. Oh, I said 3.5, didn't I?
Yeah.
Fuck me. 5.0. I'm getting so excited about 5.0. I will say, though, 5.0 made some dick items. I'm not sure if you looked through the items yet.
I haven't gotten through all of it yet. I've gotten through a bit of the PHB.
They have a lot more cursed items.
Oh, yay.
Yes, and one of the ones, the meanest one I've seen is, how you have a bag of holding?
Yes.
That holds all your magic stuff in like a little pocket dimension, and you just reach in there and it's like, oh, I got my canoe back.
Yeah.
They have a bag of devouring. And what it does is that when you throw shit in there,
it disappears?
It just goes away. It's consumed within 24 hours. And if you go in there to reach something, it pulls you in.
Oh, that's just evil.
Yeah, and you have to make a strength check to get out of the bag. Like, no, please don't eat me bag. And then if you go in, another character has to make an even harder strength check to pull you out. And anything left in the bag after 24 hours is immediately consumed.
Oh, God. That sounds like fun.
Like, it's a great object, but at the same time, like, I would be so fucking mad if that's how I died.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I reach in my backpack to get my what the fuck?
I gotta say, one thing that I really like are the feats in 5.0.
Yes.
Because the PHB, standard PHB 3.5 feats, you have a table and then you have your descriptions. The table probably has 40 to 50 feats on it. 5.0 has about 20 to 30 feats, no table, and they are legitimate feats. Level 1, 3.5, you get a feat. If you're a fighter, you get an additional feat. That's 2 feats. And they're, okay stuff. 5.0, you don't get a feat at first level because they have like crossbow expert where you ignore your reload speed. It does it automatically. If you have a melee weapon in your offhand, you can shoot your weapon and hit with your melee because you're that boss. It's just like, are you serious? This is actual feats of awesomeness.
Yeah, and they did so, like, for those of you who have played D&D before, which, hey, welcome. We're nerds, too. For those of you who have played D&D before, you would know that every 4 levels, you usually get a little, like, an attribute bump, where it's like, ability point bump. I said attribute, but whatever. It's the same thing. You get a score increase.
Yeah.
In this one, it goes, you can have your score increase, or you can have your feat. Like, that's how good the feats are, where it's like, I don't think I want to take a +2 to my strength. I think I want to take, a hammer expert.
Yeah.
Or something ridiculous like that, where it's like, it's
it's worth giving up the ability point to get a feat because they are awesome. I'm really excited to start playing. I know we're going to be playing, a personal campaign, just friends, no cameras or anything.
Yeah, and that's one that you're going to be hosting because you were my first DM, which I was tentative about because I didn't really know you too well. And then you're like, yeah, let's do this. And it was like, Scott's my best friend because he does this.
Yeah, I think I introduced almost everyone in the group to D&D, starting with Aaron and Josh. Then we brought you in. Then we got Robin, and it's just flown from there. And then possibly in talks is a recorded 5.0 D&D session.
Yeah,
maybe.
And then we were hoping it was ideal setup, but if we can do it, we want to live stream it so that way people in the community can be a part of our game as well. And I would hope that there would be a mechanic that the audience kind of gets to dictate, whether it's like, oh, we're going to do a deck of many things.
I watch a stream that does D&D and they have something. It's called God Points. For however long that you're watching the stream, you collect God Points. It's like they give one per half hour. And then it's like, hey, and it collects over different sessions because you're not going to be streaming for 24 hours. It's like, hey, I've collected 10 God Points. Here are my 10 God Points. I would like you guys to run into a beholder. And then the DM sees that. He's like, all right. And then somewhere in the session, the players will run into beholder. The amount of God points that you give dictates how it happens. So if you give one God point and say, run into a dragon, they'll see a dragon flying out in the sky. If you give, 10,000 God points and say encounter a dragon, congratulations, you're level 5 fighting a dragon.
While you were sleeping, something came and landed by you.
Yeah.
So what's that? Oh, motherfucker!
So we can do something like that.
Why would the audience do this to us?
Twitch has a lot of things like that we can incorporate to get our viewers active in our game, so it's not just us playing; it's them playing with us. Kind of side DMing. It's a side pull for the DM to pull from.
Yeah, I think we would do something like that. We'd have to look over the system, see what we can do, see what is applicable to 5.0. It's fucking with me because 3.5.
Just call it next.
D&D next. See what they have to offer that we can use. See what Twitch has to offer that we can use. Yeah. And I would like to see something where we don't TPK ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it would be really hard to keep a story going where it was like, hey, okay, we're in the first hour of gaming and oh shit, everyone's dead. Well, the next 3 hours are going to be us re-rolling our characters. So,
by the way, if you don't know, TPK is total player kill.
Yes. Or total party kill.
Or total party kill. I've seen that happen once.
Hello.
Because of him. That, little gem, the start of that little gem may be coming out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to record that exact piece, but I would like to do a recount of it, see if we can do some kind of skit where we reenacted something, just because it was such an awful, awful thing to happen.
Maybe it would be a Cogstop Animate.
Maybe. It was your first ever D&D session. And I want to tell you about it, but I got to hold it off until we do something more with it.
We still got a little more time left, so I kind of want to touch on something a little lighthearted because I know we went with like, hey, cool news, and then we went, hey, fuck you, swatting. Yeah. Then we went to like really nerdy D&D. I want to do that like kind of casual nerdy thing. And
that is not casual nerdy.
It's casual nerdy.
It is not so.
All right, fine. It's fine. It's childhood nerdy.
Yes, it's childhood nerdy, which is still good.
Yes, because Hasbro is developing their own build your own lightsaber set.
Yes, they are.
And what it's going to be is it's going to be like standard like lightsaber hilts with the lights and the sounds and the plastic little pieces for the lightsaber.
Yep.
But they're also adding like different hilts and different connector pieces, so that way you can make like whatever fucking lightsaber you want. So if you want like a lightsaber tonfa, you got a lightsaber tonfa.
You can build a dual blade that one side is just like a dagger, the other side is a trident.
Yep, and then they also did one where it's like a sai.
Yeah.
The little 3 prongs, like Raphael, which, by the way, Raphael Jedi.
Oh, that's so awesome.
But, well, that's an awful crossover in my mind. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Star Wars. How could you explain that? How could you?
It's pure awesome.
You couldn't. That would just be bad. But my question is, posed to you, what lightsaber would you make?
Any weapon?
Any weapon. Obviously, not like a lightsaber gun. So let's go with melee weapons.
I would have to go with the Japanese
lightsaber
Zambato.
Nuke. Sorry, I had to say lightsaber nuke in the middle of that.
Jeez.
A Zambato.
A Zambato. Now,
like a zombie's toe?
No. If you don't know what a Zambato is, if you've watched Rurouni Kenshin and you know Sanosuke, his big sword, that is a Zambato. It's called a horse killer. They did actually exist.
And they did actually kill horses.
Yes, they were meant to cut a horse in half. It wasn't necessarily that they were sharp. It's that it's 8 to 12 feet of solid metal with a 1.5 to 2 foot handle that you would lob up and let gravity do the rest. And it would cut horses directly in half.
Depending on your aim.
Yeah, depending on your aim. You may just chop off a leg or something, but
back legs. It's just like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? I was just riding. I wasn't even doing anything. This asshole on top of me is the one. I'm not sure why he's pointing with his hoof, but like, why? A lightsaber. So would it be like a big heavy thing with the edge of it, or would it just look like a big fucking like lightsaber oar?
It would look like a giant lightsaber oar, which would make it awesome because lightsabers, the most dangerous thing about them is the blade doesn't have any weight to it, so it wouldn't be that heavy. It would only be the hilt that I would have to wield. So I would essentially just have a giant fucking lightsaber.
So you might as well at that point just have like the fucking Buster sword or something like that. Like,
Yeah, that's what I would make.
I see so many friendly fire incidents while you're learning that. Whereas I said, just bring it back like this.
Yeah, never train with that around people.
No, you have to have like the big open room. They're like, okay, we're going through session 1. Lift up the sword.
It's lighter than I thought it would be.
Yes, it is. Also, you have to replace that lighting set that you just got rid of.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, no, you're not. But go on, sir. Go ahead and swing it from side to side. Catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it! Into the control booth. That will end today's training session. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah. I would probably, and this is just me being kind of a nerd and being like a Final Fantasy fan and also being a D&D fan because one of my characters had this as a weapon. I would go with Trident. That would be my thing. And I think that I would probably do it pokey Trident rather than like the fanned out Trident. So like instead of like the blades being like all jazzed hands out like my hands are right now, where it's like pronged, I guess you can say. It would just be like more like
pitchfork.
For those who watch it, or for those of you who've seen it, Aquaman, like pitchfork. For those of you who don't know comic books, Ariel's dad, King Neptune.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, King Neptune.
Holy shit, I can't believe I pulled that out of the fucking archive. I haven't seen that movie in...
Who is the uncle of Hercules?
Mother of God.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not going to ask questions. So, cool. That is an interesting fact. But yeah, I would have it tried because I'd want the pokey stick. And that I feel like I'd get in way less like, oops, I accidentally killed something I wasn't supposed to kill. Because that was always my main fear. Like, when I had dreams as a kid of being a Jedi. Because,
Who didn't?
Yeah. I always dreamed that I fucked up somehow and accidentally killed teammates. Like, I threw the lightsaber, and, like, the guy just, like, dodged, and, like, there's people behind it. It's like, no, don't go that far! Or, like, I was trying to, like, force pull it back to me. It's like, yeah! And I just threw it over my head and, like, went the opposite way.
Well, see, that's why, and I don't know if it's canon. I'm not that much into the mechanics of a lightsaber, but I believe that when a lightsaber is not being held, it doesn't stay open. Maybe it's that, or it doesn't stay on. Maybe it's that when they lose their lightsaber, they use the Force to push the button and close it because they know that kind of shit can happen. But, there's something like that. I would hope that you would have the sense to, if you threw it, close it.
I killed all the younglings.
Oh, God.
Just throw it in the...
Yours would still be safer than mine.
What is that? Like, what if that was like Anakin's mistake? Was like, you know what? I'm not going to kill anyone. And they something fell in his pocket, the lightsaber fell, and he like went to grab it and kicked it, and like went around the room, and like people were like trying to kick it like out of their way and like failing. Oh, just all around awfulness.
Like, well, this ended horribly.
And he was actually just begging for forgiveness. Like, I killed all the younglings, or whatever they're called. I forget what they're called. Younglings. And it's like, oh my god, you're a monster. It's like, no, it was an accident. It was like dropping a baby. You dropped a baby?
Cut off your legs.
No, you were the chosen one. It was a mistake.
Still was the chosen one. I don't care what anybody says, Luke Skywalker was not the chosen one, because he did not defeat the Emperor. Darth Vader did. Therefore, Luke Skywalker was never the chosen one. It was always Anakin. I cannot stress that enough. I know people that argue that with me.
It makes sense. Oh my god, it makes sense. I've just had like the world's like worst epiphany about Star Wars.
Yeah. You're welcome. I've told you the truth about it.
All right, well, I think that's going to end it for us. I'm dumbstruck. I never thought of it like that. Where can they catch you, Scott?
On Twitter at NewbillScott.
And you can catch me on the main Twitter at cog_stop. You can also catch us on facebook.com/CogStopProductions, at youtube.com/CogStopProductions, and at CogStopProductions.com.
You're catching yourself from saying the YouTube now, aren't you?
It only took me 42 episodes.
We'll get you back on it.
Yeah. I think it's just because like I only have to take care of like one person during the podcast that I'm being a little bit more mindful, where it's like I can see you, so I need to make sure I'm not saying it. Whereas like when there's three of you, it's like I just need to get this over with.
Yeah,
I've got too many assholes at the table. Let's just go.
Staring at all the assholes in the room.
Counting.
Oh, counting.
Yes.
I don't know the song.
Volbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but send us some comments if you want. Send us what you think that your lightsaber would be. A lightsaber whip. A lightsaber.
Kasorigama.
Whatever that was. I don't know these Japanese things. A lightsaber shield, and making Captain America the most deadly of the Avengers.
Oh, God. And if you can, like, Photoshop, like, draw them up and send them to us, that would be even better.
Yes.
I would love to see some of these designs.
Yeah. So, it's out to you, YouTube.
And tell us what you think about Spider-Man as well. Should Miles Morales become the new Spider-Man, or should they redo Peter Parker again?
Yeah, let us know about your thoughts on D&D.
Do you play? What's your edition? What's your favorite character, class, and race to play?
Yeah, or if you have an opinion about swatting, leave it below. Start an argument.
I'll join in. I never comment on YouTube videos. I will, if somebody starts an argument on swatting, I will join.
Alrighty, and I think that's it. Words of wisdom?
Don't be an asshole.
Words of fucking wisdom. Don't be an asshole. I would drop these mics if they were not that expensive.
Yeah.
So, take care.
See you later.